Good morning. We're back. Back for another episode of Code, Coffee, and Chat. Where we pretend to be a Rust developer. Let's see. We've got Twitch up, we've got YouTube up. Looks like everybody's relatively happy. Good morning, Inspire. Long time no see. What's up, Raphael? How are you? Good to see you guys. Hope you're doing well. All right. Ready to rock and roll a little bit. I got sick, but I'm back. Nice, dude. Yeah. Good morning. Good morning. That sucks, man. Getting sick is the worst. I actually think right now there's a slight flu going around our house right now. But yeah, getting sick is the worst. Pretty good. Pretty good. How about you? Yeah, no complaints, man. I mean, I always say that, but it's the truth. I mean, there's not really anything going on in my life that is worth, complaining about. I'm super, super fortunate, super, super grateful. So life is good, man. Life is good. Just gonna try to keep getting better at writing code. New haircut? Yeah, I went and got a haircut yesterday morning, about like 9 or 10 o'clock yesterday morning. We actually, when we moved in September this year, we actually moved pretty close to a place where you can get a haircut. So now I can just walk there. So I just walked up there and got a little haircut and came back home. Because I don't know if I've ever mentioned this on stream. Me and my family, we just have one car, which I'm sure is not a big deal if you don't live in the United States. But if you live in the United States, it's pretty common for most adults to each have their own car. And we just have the one. So when my wife is gone with the kids during the day to school, I'm pretty much just kind of trapped at home. So I'm limited to what I can do based on what I can walk to. So it's kind of nice now that I can basically get my haircut during the day because I can just walk there now. This week is already the worst of 26. Why is this week the worst of 26? What happened? What's going on? Good morning, Oblivion. Good to see you. Hope you're doing well. I guess I should put up the chat thing while I'm not really doing anything. I'm gonna eat this orange real quick. Sounds like someone needs some head pats. Yeah, man. I mean, I'm sure there's shitty stuff going on, but if there's anything we can do to make you feel better about life, I'd love to make you feel better about life. Let's see, Inspire. What are we doing these days? We are learning Rust right now, which I don't know how much longer that's gonna last. I mean, I hope to wrap all this up before the end of the month, if I can, and make a switch on what we're doing on stream. But we're learning Rust. We're learning Rust by doing this group of exercises called Rustlings and what else? Oh, building a Notepad app. So we're basically trying to recreate the Windows Notepad. And so yeah, we've been having a good time. Got sick, very unproductive at work. Have a paper submission Monday. More meetings tomorrow. Ooh, yeah, you're going through it, man. Yeah, there's not much you can do with those weeks except just kind of close your eyes and push through, right? The only way through is forward. Right? It's like you just got to get through it. I'm sorry that all that shit kind of fell on the same timeline. Good morning, Santosh. Feels like, yeah, that's awful. Are you gonna do more wrestling? We can do more wrestling today. Yeah, we can start with that. Well, I get to see the crabs out. Trying to pretend to be a rustacean. Do you think cybersecurity is also doomed by AI now that LLM can run command and system? I don't know. I'm not a big believer that we're doomed by AI. I still think AI. I still think very much AI is a tool. Um, And I think those who can make the most of that tool, I think, are still the people who are most knowledgeable and most capable in whatever domain that AI is being applied to. Um, and so I'm not sure if cybersecurity means that that cybersecurity professionals are doomed. I just think it means probably as a cybersecurity professional, it's one more thing you need to understand and know about and be able to leverage, right? So I personally am pretty optimistic that LLMs are not going to make us all obsolete. Now I could be wrong, but I'm living my life according to that belief at the moment. Tools are being made to execute LLMs commands as safely as possible. Yeah, I saw a tool the other day that was where basically you spin up like a container, and so you sort of lock the agent into a box in the container, which I thought was pretty cool. So far, there's really just been Copilot with the CVE. Oh, I guess the way I read Satoshi's question was more about like, I guess I was thinking more like people who work in cybersecurity are doomed. But I guess what you may have meant is like, is AI gonna like run rampant over over cybersecurity? I don't know. I honestly don't know about that one. I'm not much of like a hacker or pen tester or exploiter myself, so I'm not really sure how much um, better how much better AI makes people at being able to exploit systems. It always seems to me, I don't know about you guys, but it always seems to me whenever I read exploits, like whenever I read the descriptions of what people have to do to exploit the vulnerability, it's always very convoluted in a lot of cases. Like even that React server component, right? It was like somebody had to really go digging to really understand the innards of all that implementation, right? And so maybe LLMs help people analyze things better, but I think it still requires some level of human involvement. DW security is the aspect no one's got shit figured out about. That doesn't seem like a new thing. At least I can say that about AI security. Pretty sure it would be similar to cybersec too. I'd say the complete opposite. Cybersec freelancers are likely having a field day with all these companies ruining their securities. It's like a boom, cybersecurity boom. People be making bags and bags and bags of cash. Yeah, I don't know. I'll be very interested. Right now, I'm just trying to. I don't know. I'll be very interested to see where everything lands in 2030. You know, give it 5 years. I'll be really interested to see where everything goes. Good morning, Almighty. Good morning. All right, so we wanted to get started with some rustlings. Okay, we'll do rustlings for like an hour or so, and then we're gonna switch over to the Notepad app. Did you hear the news that OpenAI money is gonna run out by 2027? Do you think they're gonna be out of business by 20? Hold on, where did you see that, Ilmanian? Crow of Demise. Good morning. Hey, good morning, man. Good to see you. Where did you see that, Ilmanian? I did not see that. I did see the ad thing, which if what you said is true, that makes sense. The ads make sense, right? They need to monetize as quickly as possible. Is there a particular article or something that you? Because that's pretty wild. I hadn't heard that. Uh-oh. I did that thing where I. Oh, yeah. 2020. I'll just do a quick Google search. But if you know off the top of your head, just tell me. OpenAI out of money by 2020. I mean, that would be crazy. I mean, think of all the people that would be. Oh yeah, Yahoo. This is Yahoo Finance. So where are they reporting it from? Well, I mean, somebody reported they were burning like $4 billion a year or something like that. I mean, that's crazy. You know how much money that is? The report suggests that ChatGPT Maker could make a 14 billion loss in 2026. Holy shit. Can you imagine? You just took $14 billion and just lit it on fire. That's That's unbelievable. Twitter. No, that's not. It's not. Dude, don't knock yourself for getting stuff from Twitter. I mean, vast majority of people get their news from TikTok and Twitter these days. Reportedly generates up to $13 billion in revenue annually from ChatGPT and LLM access fees. The firm spends up to $1.4 billion on computing. Sam indicated that he expects OpenAI's revenue to exponentially surge to $100 billion by 2027. Huh. So $8 billion lost in 2025, which can potentially rise to $40 billion by 2028. This is from a guy, Sebastian Malaby, an economist at the Council on Foreign Relations. See, this is tough. This is the tough thing with companies like OpenAI. It's like so many people have their hooks in them, right? Or OpenAI has their hooks in them, that now you got to start to wonder. It's like, is OpenAI too big to fail? Like, even if their losses balloon, right? Does somebody like buy them, acquire them, right? Like, what does it mean? It probably doesn't mean there's no more OpenAI. It probably just means like the company looks differently or is operated differently. But yeah, they're in a. I think Sam Altman said like 24 months ago that they would never do ads. The ads would be like a last resort to the company, and now they're doing ads. So I think that's a pretty telltale sign that things are not necessarily desperate, but achieving AGI is no longer their primary mission at this point. It seems like it's staying alive. They also called themselves OpenAI. Yeah, what in hindsight, maybe not the right decision. Grow demise. They were or are investors basically like have to make money, I think, or they lose investors. It's bound to fail. I'm not a financial money dude, but don't quote me on that. No, I think there is some intuition there. I think we can all. I don't think any of us need to be financial experts. We can all have intuition to know if you're continually spending more than you're making, that can only go on for so long. People will only keep giving you money and investing into your business for so long before there's some sort of sunk cost, right? Especially when you hit some sort of turbulent economic times, which we haven't yet, right? So like in 5 years, the whole OpenAI craze really happened post 2020. And so for the last 5, now going on 6 years, we have not had another economic scare, right? And so it's kind of like, okay, AI is really fun, and it's really fun to spend a lot of money and just light it on fire and ask for more, because scaling laws, right? We're going to scale our way to AGI, but all of a sudden, when the capital starts to dry up because people are afraid, because stocks are crashing and interest rates are rising, and what happens then? I don't I I don't know. I don't think it's good. I don't think it's good. I think this was the last thing we did, right? Yeah, this was the last thing we did. So we're on options. And then we should probably go ahead and open up the book website, just so that we have that open. They're not going to just disappear. I'm sure they're going to get funding. So that's when I think I'm with you now, based on current economics and the current situation here in the U.S. Like, yes, I believe you. They're going to get funding. Things get kind of rocky. I don't think that's as much of a firm guarantee. I think then it becomes possible to leverage OpenAI into a sell, right? It's like, oh well, I'm not in a position where I'm going to invest more money into you for you to do whatever you want with, but I'll happily acquire you and control your IP and assets. But we'll see. We'll see. I'm just a spectator. It looks like there's definitely some... All right, let's just read through this really quick. Type option represents an optional value. Every option is either some, contains a value, or none, and does not. Option types are very common in Rust code as they have a number of uses. Initial values, return values for functions that are not defined over their entire input range, return value for otherwise reporting simple errors, where none is returned on error, optional struct fields that can be loaned or taken, optional function arguments, nullable pointers, swapping things out of difficult situations. So an option is an option, for lack of a better explanation. Good morning, Steven. Hello, fellow Steve. Good to see you. Good morning, everyone. Do we see any other promising technologies heading our way? I don't know, man. Somebody had mentioned something. There was some kind of model somebody had mentioned, another machine learning model. I can't remember the type of it. It escapes me. That sounded kind of interesting. But no, I don't have anything. Nothing comes to mind. AZ, anything? OpenAI needs to become the most profitable company in history in order to meet its debt obligations. Exactly, right? Which is it's a very big ask, right? It's a huge ask. If OpenAI gone AI is not going to die, other companies will take a spot. That I agree with 100%, Ilmanian. The investors are definitely losing money on it, but if they fail, RAM prices might go down, guys. We just want to play our games. We just want to upgrade our PCs. Give us our RAM back. Anything other than AI? Yeah, maybe it was diffusion models, Oblivious. I can't remember. I wish I would have written it down. I think it was something like that. Anything other than AI? No, nothing on my radar. There's definitely a lot of existing technologies that I want to learn about that I have never, haven't worked with before, but nothing that I understand that's like cutting edge or like, brand new. Good morning, 199. 2 more chapters before the Django hell is over. You don't like Django? What's wrong with Django? The big tech want to sell, use compute as a service again, start self-hosting people. I'm starting myself. Nice. Yeah, self-hosting is a lot of fun. It gives you a lot of peace of mind that you don't have to worry about like a big ass compute bill showing up at your door. Didn't some CEO say it like he wants all gaming to be cloud gaming or something? So we basically own nothing and RAM costs the house. I think that's largely been Xbox's strategy for the last 2 or 3 years, right? It's like they want to make cloud gaming a real thing. And man, me and my 2 sons both have Xbox Live memberships, and we've all tried cloud gaming, and it just never is a good experience. Yes, we would all love for RAM prices to come down. Let's see, Gemini diffusion was recently brought up. It was theorized a while ago, but transformers are so far the most popular. Yeah, I'm really interested because I listened to what's the gentleman who was OpenAI's lead scientist, and then Ilya Sutskever. I listened to him in a podcast, and it was interesting listening to him because he was basically like, as an industry or as a community, they've largely gone back into research mode, which I thought was interesting. So it's like there's like obviously a group of scientists in the AI space who don't think that LLMs are the thing, right? That they're trying to figure out what the next thing is or what's the right actual path forward. So that was pretty interesting. All right, this function returns how much ice cream there is left in the fridge. If it's before 2200, then 5 scoops are left. At 2200, someone eats it all, and so no ice cream is left. Return none if hour of the day is higher than 23. So it looks like they're just giving me a number. So I can say if, no, stop, Copilot. I need to just disable Copilot by default. If it's before 2020, so meaning if hour of day is less than 22, right? Then we will return 5. And, oh, sum 5. And then we'll do, the default case is, actually, let's do the default case. Let's invert this. Let's do default case is 5, and then let's do if hour a day is greater than 23, we return none. And if hour of day is 20, I guess if it is 20, yeah. Or I guess we could just do this. Return none. Hold on. At 2022, someone eats it all, so no ice cream is left. Return none if hour of day is higher than. Oh, I don't think I need this. That, I don't know, that whole thing read really confusing to me. I thought there was 3 cases in that description, but expected option. Fix this test. How do you get the value contained in the option? How do you get the value contained in the option? Isn't it like ice creams dot, there's like a method on here, right? Like expect or unwrap maybe? Or is that for a result? Expected option. Oh, whoops, sorry. I think it's unwrap, but I think that's what crashed Cloudflare, so we probably shouldn't actually do that. Let's see, 2 tests failed. Raw value, okay. Check ice cream failed. Left equals right failed. Left sum 5, right sum 0. Maybe ice cream. Line 33.9. I don't understand. 22. Oh. Oh, so there is 3 cases. I did read that right. I was like, okay, so there is 3 cases. I don't understand. God damn, there's 94 exercises in this thing? $38. I guess I'm still getting warmed up this morning. Left is none, sum is 0. Why? This should not be this hard. So if you give me 23, you want 0 back. It's really hard for me to understand which test is failing or which assertion is failing. I'm basically having to use the line number to line it up. So 22, this should be greater than or equal to. What's stupid business logic? Let's see. This one took way too long. On to the next one. Better crush these exercises? Oh man, I don't know, man. I'm not going to finish 94 of them. I'd much rather finish the Notepad app than finish all these. Okay, what are we doing now? All right. To do, make this an if-let statement whose value is sum. And then make this a while-let statement. Remember that vec pop adds another layer of option. You can do nested pattern matching in if-let, while-let statements. Okay, I think I've done this. I think I've done this before in my own code. I think we've done this before. So I think what we need to do here is we basically say if let some word equals optional target. I think that's how you do it. And then we can move this assertion in here. I think that's what you do. And then here, I'm not sure. Let's see, they said we need to turn this into a while loop. So I'm guessing, I don't think I've ever done this before, but I'm guessing the syntax is similar, where you have a while, and you basically just do an assignment that says, while let some integer equals optional integers dot pop, which I think that syntax looks really weird, but that's just me. Yeah, put this inside here, and then we remove this. Okay, but now this is where they said we have to do, there's nested. So remember that vec pop adds another layer of option. So then that means in here we do another if, that's like if some integer equals I guess we have to also move this in here. And then we have to change this variable name. Maybe we just make it I. We make you I. Let's see. Why are you upset? Cannot find value I in the scope? Well, you're not, it's not supposed to be. Oh. There we go. Does that make everybody happy? Hey, looky there, we did it. I don't know, I find assignments in conditionals weird. Because Go kind of has the same idea, right? Where like you can do something like if something something, and then you can use the variable over here. I kind of find that confusing to read, personally. But I don't know, to each his own, to each his own. I'm happy to adapt. Let's see. This is odd syntax, but I'm here for it. All right, next one. Declare I in global variable. I think it was just that I needed to use the let keyword. Yeah, I think it was because I was doing this, and I just needed to add the let. See you, Crow Demise. Sorry, I missed your message when you left. Don't you have office? What do you mean, Sunshine? What does that mean? Do I have an office? This is like the place I'm in is my office. Like the thing where I'm sitting in my house, this is what we refer to as my office. You need a Rust hoodie now, Mr. Crabman? I don't know, man. I don't think I'm going to be a Rust developer. But at least I'll be able to say I kind of know it. I'm familiar with it. I guess I'll be able to say. I heard this story that a month Korean was caught working on Amazon because of a 100 millisecond delay on Amazon's system. A North Korean. Oh, wow. That's crazy. I hadn't heard that story. Corporate espionage, huh? That's kind of wild. If you want pain, then yes, Rust is best. Oh yeah, because Ravit said, "Is Rust the best language for backend?" I don't know, honestly. I think it largely what is the best depends. I personally like to work with C# whenever I'm working on the server. That's my preference. But everybody has a preference. Hello, Ilmanian. Thanks for using the hype emote. Appreciate you. All right, fix the compiler error by adding something to this match statement. So what is the compiler complaining about? The compiler is complaining about what? borrow of partially moved value. I'm guessing I can make this a reference and it won't get moved. Or make this a reference. There we go. So basically the idea being here that instead of the match, causing the ownership to transfer here, now we're just borrowing it to read it. Since we're not actually doing anything with it besides printing it, we don't need to take ownership. Lovely. Oh, that's scary. This looks very scary. There's a lot going on there. Air handling. Ruby, I am bad at DSA. Can you suggest how I improve my DSA skill? I'm learning Java, by the way. I don't know if I'm honestly super qualified. Like, if you look at my LeetCode profile, I've solved like none. And if you look at my Code Wars profile, I don't think I've done anything on Code Wars in like 2 years. I just don't do a lot of data structure and algorithm stuff myself. Maybe that would be different if I was actively trying to get a new job. Although all the jobs I interviewed for back in the summer, none of the coding exercises were DSA heavy. They were all like for instances, or they were like examples of like basic language syntax. They weren't anything crazy, but maybe that's because of the companies I was interviewing with. I guess if it was me, I would just grind a lot of DSA problems. I would probably just, I believe the best way to get good at anything is lots and lots of reps. So I would probably just schedule some time on my calendar every day to just sit and grind LeetCode. And then, but through grinding LeetCode, you're going to be forced to learn, right? You're going to be forced to go look up things and learn about new algorithms and learn about new data structures. But through all those reps, you're going to develop the patterns, right? Because that's really the closest thing I get to data structures and algorithms every year is Advent of Code. And to me, the key has been pattern recognition, right? So understanding, oh, this can be solved using breadth first search or depth first search, or this is when I need to use a star. This is what, you know what I mean? This is when I should use a map versus a list, right? Those are the things that have helped me, is lots of reps, and then through those reps acquiring pattern recognition. But I definitely don't have any of the algorithms memorized by heart. I almost always have to look them up, but at least I know what's out there, and I know when to use what, right? Or like I know like this problem sounds like another problem I've seen before. I know Coding Jesus, I think, does a lot with DSA stuff. Like, I think his whole course, his whole website, getcracked.io, is all around, I think, DSA related kind of things. So maybe that would be another good resource. But it's not really the game I play. Ilmani, don't know what to say here, but very cool feature, man. Love this. I think that's how it should be. Are you talking to me, Ilmani? Or somebody else?
I'd like to say something.
Test, is it working?
It works. Yeah, it works. Text-to-speech works. Hydrate works. Caffeinate works. They all work. I think my keyboard just died. There we go. You talking to me? Well, what are you saying? Very cool feature. Love this. What does that mean? Oh, I guess you're talking about text to speech. Is that what you're referring to? The rewards on Twitch. It is a cool feature. Excuse me. This function refuses to generate text to be printed on a name tag. Noah, where do you find problems like these? This is from a okay, so I should say, Noah, I found it because of chat. So chat was the one that told me about this. I started just reading the Rust book, which I think is plenty enough, but it doesn't have a ton of interactivity to it. You have to like kind of create your local you have to create your local dev environment and then copy all the example code and everything. But this Rustlings is basically like an accompaniment to it that has like an interactive portion that runs in your terminal. So I don't know if this is like, if every language has something similar to this. Well, in fact, I know every language doesn't have something similar to this because C# doesn't have something similar to this. But you might Google around and see if you can find something for whatever language you're interested in. I'll link this in the chat just so that you know, if you're interested in Rust, you know where to find it. There you go, man. Hope you're having a good day. All right, what are we trying to accomplish here? This function refuses to generate text to be printed on a name tag if you pass it an empty string. It'd be nicer if it explained where at the problem was instead of just returning none. Thankfully, Rust has a similar construct to option that can be used to express error conditions. Change the function signature body to return result string instead of option. Okay. So we'll do result string. Okay. Which means now we need to return, if name is empty, we return an error. Oh, it's like this, error. Name cannot be empty, I think, and this is going to be okay. Oops. This is just going to be okay. That doesn't. Expected string found. Oh, it wants an own string. See that? I thought that's how. Oh no, that's string from is what I'm looking for. From. There we go. Nice. Let's see. Name cannot be empty. Oh, it wants a specific error message. Empty names are not allowed. I love results. Let's go. On to the next one. Hey, what's up, Voltaire? I may be coming back later. Bye. See you, Elmani, and have a good day, man. Is Rustlings a framework for Rust or something? No, Deep Code. Rustlings is just like a group of exercises that are supposed to accompany the Rust programming language book. So it's just like, you know, a way to try to make the Rust language book more interactive, right? Kind of connect the concepts to actual code. And then also I think it's supposed to help you get used to like reading Rust code that you haven't written and being able to understand what the compiler is telling you, being able to read the error messages, right? It's trying to give you practice at like how to deal with Rust, right? As in like a tangible way instead of just reading a book. Because I think oftentimes reading a book straight up just doesn't translate to like actual skill. Satoshi, I have heard of one of Zig and C. Yeah, I've heard of Zig. I've heard of Zig and C. I've never written C or Zig, but I totally would be up for learning Zig. Awesome stuff. Thanks so much, man. Of course, Noah. Yeah, happy to spread the wealth, man. All right. Say we're writing a game where you can buy items with tokens. All items cost 5 tokens. Whenever you purchase items, there is a processing fee of 1 token. A player of the game will type in how many items they want to buy, and the total cost function will calculate the total cost of the items. Since the player typed in the quantity, we get it as a string. They might have typed anything, not just numbers. Right now, this function isn't handling the error case at all. What we want to do is, if we call the total cost function on a string that is not a number, that function will return a parse int error. In that case, we want to immediately return that error from our function and not try to multiply and add. There are at least 2 ways to implement this that are both correct, but one is a lot shorter. All right, so we'll see which way I go. I'm guessing mine will be the longer way. Okay, so we have OK. And so we basically, here's the parse. And parse returns a result, right? And so what we can do is we can basically use a match statement where we say, okay, we're going to match against quantity. And we'll just let the compiler fill out, or we'll let Rust Analyzer fill the match arms because it'll be exhaustive. So we know we have to handle OK and we have to handle error. And in the OK condition, we have our, I'm just going to say Q, and which means we can take this line and we can stick it here, right? Yeah, and we have to change quantity to Q in that scope. Now, that's going to make people happy here. I'm actually not sure what this is. Let E is parse int error. Oh, because because we know that parse int error is what comes from the parse method. So that's how we're able to get a type here. So I think this is what they want. Yes. So I think the longer way we could have written this is maybe with an if-else statement. Or maybe there's an even shorter way to do it. I wonder if there's like a... I wonder if there's something we can map on the end of it. Map error or else, and then I bet one of these methods we can use instead of matching. I bet we can do something like map. Let's see this. What does this say? This function can be used to pass through a successful result while handling an error. What's the other one do? Returns the provided default if error, or applies a function to the contained value. Yeah, if I had to guess, one of these can be chained, but I'm not sure which one. So what should go in here? Here's some example code. Map error. Let's see if that works. So let's do so we'll do a lambda. We say Q. And then we say I'll have to look that one up. Let's see. Rust error handling, replace match with map error. Something like that. There's got to be some sort of. You can replace a match expression that only handles the error case of a result with map.error to improve conciseness and reduce boilerplate. This is particularly useful when you want to transform one error type into another. Oh no, that's not what I want. There's got to be a, let's see, alternative to match in Rust when dealing with result type. Returns error if file open fails. Ooh. That's kind of nice. Question mark. Then there's the let else. Okay. Transforms the inner OK value without touching the error value. Change an operation that returns a new result. The next operation returns only if the previous one was okay. So map, can I use map here? So if I do map, and do I mean, I know I should probably just leave good enough alone, right? Like, but I'm just interested to explore and see if I can figure out a way to do it. Okay, what's complaining here? So what is Q here? Q is the value. I think I'm going to use my good friend AI. Voltaire, it's the sexiest feature of Rust, in my opinion. It's not a question mark, it's a ternary operator, I think. Will question mark work? Will question mark work? Hint, hint, hi. I don't know, will it? So you're saying do this? Huh. No. I'm gonna ask Copilot to see if Copilot has any suggestions. I mean, I might be chasing a ghost here, but I'm just curious. Yo, is there a way to write the following method without using a match or let or if else on the parse result? Ah, crap, I copied the... I always copy to the wrong clipboard. Gemini 3 Pro. Let's just do Flash. Where's Flash at? There you go. You can just do if something else. Rust has no ternaries, which I think sucks that it doesn't have ternaries. Yeah, here we go. Use map. So this is what I was thinking. So we can do using the Q operator. If you prefer to work with the unwrapped value directly, you can use the question mark operator. No, I don't want to do the unwrap. Okay, I thought I tried this, but it didn't seem happy with this. Maybe I had the syntax wrong? Oh, I think I know what I did. I think I tried to wrap it in an OK, didn't I? Yeah, I think that's what I did. I think if I do map Q, and then it can all be on one line. So we can do this. V inside, or sorry, VI inside parentheses, yank, put that here. Don't assign it to the quantity, just implicitly return it. I like that. I like that. I'll have to remember that one. Very nice. Very nice. Succinct. Succinct? How do you spell succinct? I think that's how you spell it. Awesome. I probably spent like way too many minutes on that, but I feel like I learned something, so a win is a win. This is a program that is trying to use a completed version of total cost function from the previous exercise. Whoops. I think I'm missing some words there. This is a program that is trying to use a completed version of the total cost function from the previous exercise. It's not working though. Why not? What should we do to fix it? All right, so don't change this function. Fix the compiler error by changing the signature and body of the main function. I think it's because there's an implicit return here, right? The function should return result or option to accept a question mark. Consider adding return type result. I don't know what this is. Box. I've never seen that before. I don't know exactly what that is. And this is going to return what? I32. You can't afford that many. So can I just return an empty result like this? I'm not sure I know what to do there. Boxing errors. Let's go read about that. See, I wish. So this is the one complaint I have with Rustlings at the moment. Is it that it's not always very clear what exercise is mapping to what bit of information. And it would be nice if like somehow you could say like, oh, if you like, it would be nice if they put something in here like in the exercise to say like, if you're confused or if you don't understand what's being asked of you, please go check this, right? Like point me to the place where I need to go to get the information. Because at this point I don't really know where I should go. I know it wants me to do something. I can read the compiler error, and I could probably just copy and paste this, right? I could probably just say like, oh, okay, yeah, I'll do this. And I'm guessing that would probably fix it, but that's just like blindly following someone else's instructions. And see, it doesn't fix it. So I need to actually figure out what I'm supposed to do. So why do you box an error? A way to write simple code while preserving the original errors is to box them. The drawback is that the underlying error type is only known at runtime and not statically determined. The standard lib helps in boxing our errors by having box implement conversion from any type that implements the error trait into the trait object. Empty vec.into converts to box. Change the alias to use box dynamic error. Huh. I don't think I understand any of that. I don't think I understand any of that. So I guess let's look at results maybe? Maybe this has the information we need. Box T is a kind of basic unique pointer, I think. Type T on the heap, the box where you want it. Interesting. Does the hint not help? Which hint? Maybe I just overlooked it. Where's the hint at, Oblivion? Have you not been looking at hints equals? No, wait, no, I haven't. What am I supposed to do? Oh, H, hint, sorry. H. Okay. I didn't even know this existed. Okay. There's a chat's on top of it. If other functions can return a result, why should it main? It's a fairly common convention to return something like result error type from your main function. The unit type is there because nothing is really needed in terms of a positive result. Okay. Okay. So it does want me to. So it says. So basically, I can change the signature, or I can change the body. I can also change the body. So I guess, can I just do like a generic error? Or I guess I could do parse int error like this. In which case, I guess this would be okay. And then this would be something like how would I write this to meet this? I guess what I would do is maybe this is a result. So I don't know, fuck it, let's just make this return I32, and then we'll say cost result, and we will return the cost result. And then instead of doing this, I'm going to match, or I guess I'll do if. So I'll say if let sum of cost Oh, actually, hold on. That's not what I'm going to do. I'm going to do this. Do the rename. Match on cost results. Fill in the arms. This is cost. The trait bound termination is not satisfied. Required for standard result to implement standard process termination. What? Oh no. What have I done? What about just this? That gets rid of that thing. Expected one argument, found 0. Now everyone's happy. I don't know if that's what they wanted. Okay. It works. All right. That's fine. I don't know if that's at all what they were after, but it compiles and it runs. All right. Next. All right. It's 5:30. It's time to make coffee, and then we're gonna work on the Notepad app. That's enough Rustlings for today. Ah, very nice. Yeah, we got it working. What's up, Kajani? Good to see you, man. I picked up a classic motorcycle, 1969 year Suzuki. Nice, dude. Motorcycles are kind of dangerous though. So the father in me is like, be very careful. That's what I want to say to you. You know. But I hope you have fun working on it and riding it. Just be careful. Oblivious. Maybe I should have never noticed sooner that you never used it. No, that's not your job. That's. Each exercise has a hint. I mentioned it at the very start, saying it's good to read them even if you succeeded. It often has good recommendations about hyperlinks to the Rust book. Oh, okay. That sucks. I should have been paying attention to that. Hey, good morning, Big J's Faith. Thanks for being a member. Looking got a haircut. Looking good, Bubba. Thanks, man. Yeah, I did. I went yesterday. I'm so bad about haircuts. I try to put it off for months and months on end. And then, yeah. I end up looking very shaggy. Sometimes it helps to peek at the next task as it is part of the answer to the previous one. Oh, you're talking about in Rustlings? That's good advice. All right, I'm going to go set up the coffee camera. I'm going to make a new cup of coffee. And then we're going to try to work on the Notepad app. One second. All right. All right, coffee time in 3, 2, 1, coffee cam. All right, here we go. Should be enough. Oh, I can't see chat. Good morning, Rockin' Brain. Good to see you. How goes it? Good morning, Duck Boy. Good to see you lurking around here this morning. What's the best way to see chat? I guess I can look at Twitch and then also look at YouTube at the same time, maybe? let's see. I still don't have this all figured out. I just wanted to be able to see chat. There we go. Still working on your admin of copy? Yeah, I'm making my way through it. Slowly but surely. Slowly but surely. It's honestly crazy how much coffee was in there. Now that I've been like trying to use it, I probably should have drank some of it off the stream too. Yeah. But I was trying to save it all. I don't really know why. But. It's good coffee though. Cannot complain. Haircut looks good. Oh, thanks, man. Yeah, it's funny how much a haircut can change your appearance and change the way you feel. Haircuts are kind of expensive, though. I mean, it depends, I guess, on where you go, but I mean, like, I spent $30. I mean, $20 for the haircut and like $10 for a tip. Kind of expensive. I try to go once a quarter. If I can stretch a haircut out to like 3-4 months, I will. That's what I try to do. I have a coworker I work with who gets his haircut once a week. I'm like, what do they even cut, man? Once a week? What are you talking about? To each his own, you know. To each his own. What is he, a child pet? I know. he told me he grew up in West Kansas, which is like, I mean, there's nothing out there besides feedlots, right? So he says, like, I grew up in a really small town, and he was like, that was just something my family did every weekend, was go into town and get haircuts. And I was like, and then he said, as an adult, I just kept doing it. I was like, okay. Means you'll always look handsome. Nothing wrong with that. I'm very curious to know if you guys solved that 20 lines compiler error, something that was expecting a message but was receiving a string. We did solve it. I can actually show you. We're gonna switch over and look at the Notepad app now instead of doing Rustlings, so I can show you what we ended up doing. But it was a type thing. It was what, I can't remember who said it, but it was basically that the element that I was creating was trying to produce a string, and it needed to produce a message. So we did fix it. Almighty, my haircuts cost about $50 and I get a low fade, so within 2 weeks I'm looking rough again. Need another lineup. Isn't that crazy? $50 for a haircut, man. It's crazy. I mean, I appreciate what people do. I appreciate what hairstylists do. So, like, I want them to earn their money. It's just, that's a lot of money. Usually you don't get into your haircut that much. It's just a nice head massage, a good wash with quality product, style. For guys, some gel. Girls, either curls or straighten. Yeah, it's just one of those things that, like, when you multiply it over the course of a year, it adds up, right? So if Almighty gets his haircut every 2 weeks, that's 26 $50 purchases, that's, what is that? That's 1,000. I could do math. 50 times 2 is 100. It's almost $1,000, right? It's $100. Yeah, it's $100 a month essentially. $1,200 or something like that a year. That's a lot of money. Yeah. It's definitely a wealthy source. 1,300. Almighty already has the figure. Yeah. I mean, I want you to look good, Almighty. It's just when you start thinking about the money, it adds up. If you work by the hour and get your money, you should absolutely not get your hair done all the time. Yeah. I'm unbelievably frugal. I'm not frugal when it comes to my kids and my family. I think I've said that before on stream. Maybe I said it in Discord. I tend to kind of think of my job money, like the money I earn on my W-2, that pretty much belongs to the household. So whatever my family needs, take care of them. But then I hate spending money on myself, honestly. I just want to stick it in my retirement account and get to a retirement faster. I can't stop thinking about the OpenAI thing. $14 billion loss this year. I mean, come on. Can you guys just not give me if you're going to burn money, just give me $1 million. I can't stop thinking about that. Alrighty. Coffee has been made. To the office. To the office. I still haven't hooked up that Batman sound, the transition sound. I still need to work on that. Oh, I'm gonna leave my headphones out there. Get back in here, chat. We're back. And we have to fix our audio. So annoying that I have to do this every time. Alrighty. Imagine putting that money into helping the homeless situation or something like that. I know, right? $14 billion, almighty. Like $14 billion. Also that we can use LLMs to write our code. I mean, I think there's a real question there, right? There's a real ethical question of is that the best use case of the compute? I don't know. Or even the capital. Is it the best use of the capital? Probably not. Probably not. Especially if it's not getting us to AGI. If all this money is just being spent to build chatbots that recommend products and services to us. Charles, I'm finally here again. Well, welcome back, Charles. We're getting ready to switch over to, we were doing a little bit of Rustlings, and now we're going to switch over to building that Notepad app. Make sure we write out all our progress here. And let's do git add. And we'll do git commit feature. This is, what day is it? It's already the 22nd, guys. This year is flying by. Flying by. We're 22 days in already. Crazy. Crazy. Did you add the coffee thing? I did. Yeah. It should be a reward called caffeinate, just like hydrate, but it'll just tell me to drink coffee.
Charles 5432 is telling you to drink some coffee.
Cheers, mate. I weirdly live by the principle of no hair gel, and possibly because my haircuts are easily accessible, I saw my dad went bald. I kind of worry that I'm going to go bald. So my dad is, or at least I think the last time I saw my dad, which was a long time ago, he was not bald, but his father went bald. So it's possible that there is baldness in our family. So I'm worried either I'm going to go bald or my brother's going to go bald. Which is fine. I mean, there's nothing wrong with being bald. I think it just gets it takes a minute to get used to what that looks like on you, right? Gaudy Python. Hello, Gaudy Python. Good to see you. It has been a while. Thanks for coming back. Appreciate you. If you're balding, let it go rather than cling on desperately. Oh, for sure. The first signs of balding. I'm just going to embrace it, you know? We will get bald eventually. Yeah. Well, I don't know. I mean, I feel like most women don't go bald, and I feel like I've seen a lot of older men who have quite a bit of hair. Sometimes it's gray, sometimes it's not, but so I don't think everyone goes bald, right? Seems like it happens to men more than anything else. Male pattern baldness. This is the kind of content you get from a 32-year-old dad streaming on YouTube, is discussions of male pattern baldness. Oblivious. Testosterone is what directly leads to baldness, but it's also a genetic factor. So for some, that same testosterone doesn't do that. Oh, I did not know that. Thank you, Oblivious, for enlightening me. I had no idea that testosterone was what. I've never researched that or looked it up, but that's fascinating. I had no idea. Gaudy Python used to have long hair, cut it down. I haven't had long hair. The longest hair I've ever had was like in 6th grade, and it was more of like a skater, like bowl cut looking thing. But since then, I've always had short hair. They say curly-headed people bald sooner. I'm worried. Well, that gives me hope, because my brother has very curly hair and I do not. So so maybe my brother will get the male pattern baldness and I won't. Sorry, bro. Sorry about you. Love that. High testosterone is the actual cause of baldness. So this is like a double thing. It's like, as a man, you do want high testosterone because it's like, right, it's good for your health. But at the same time, I don't want to go bald. Like catch 22. El Jefe? What's up, El Jefe? How are you? I used to have dreadlocks, but got annoying to maintain. I could see that dreadlocks being very, very high maintenance. Yeah. You're my goatest goat? Me? Well, that's very kind of you, but I'm not goated at all. I'm just a dad streaming on YouTube early in the morning, or I guess now I'm on Twitch too. I'm a dad trying to be a streamer in the morning. But I appreciate that. Thanks for coming and hanging out on stream. I had dreads and they smelled like apple cider vinegar. Really, yeah. Obviously I've never had a haircut like that, but I could just like from afar looking at it, I would think it was probably a lot of maintenance. I keep it short with my majestic beard. I wish I could grow a beard. My facial hair just comes in like patches all over my face. I could definitely grow a mustache, but like I don't think I could grow a beard. Testosterone is actually not shown to be needed in great quantity. Women live with very little of it. Those seeking muscles definitely, like those numbers higher though, then there's a direct correlation. Yeah. Did you see the Primetime podcast yesterday talking about Scam Altman Coin's new business endeavors and past ones? I did. I watched the whole thing. I watched the whole thing, and it was that the stand up, them recording the stand up has become kind of one of the best parts of my week. The four of those people together is it's hilarious. It's like one big chaotic. It's like hanging out with your friends from high school, you know. It's just like one big chaotic shit show, but it's so funny. And honestly, what was the craziest thing about the stand-up episode was everything TJ was saying sounded like it was made up. Like it sounded like some bullshit thing that someone would make up to be funny. But he was describing real life. I couldn't believe it. El Jefe, I think I joined a little late. What are we making? Oh yeah, you're not late, man. You arrived exactly when you were meant to arrive. So we're getting ready to work on a application that we've been building, which is essentially like a Notepad replacement, but written in Rust. Oblivious disclaimer: I'm not a doctor, but those are the results I recall. Do not take this as medical advice. Monoxidil and derma roller, if you want a full beard, can also help hairlines, I think. Oh, interesting. Yeah. If my wife asked me to grow a beard, I guess I would. Hey, what's up, Bob? Good to see you, Bob. I guess if my wife asked me to grow a beard, I might work on it more, but if she doesn't care about facial hair, then I don't really care about facial. I've been using it since 19. I'm 21 now, and it has helped a ton. Oh, that's good to know. Thanks for the hookup, man. Appreciate that. If I ever need to get my beard game on point. Okay, so we were gonna Rockin' Brain asked about the issue that we were having the other day that we fixed. So the issue we were having the other day was we were trying to render a markdown widget in place of our editor widget. And the issue we were having was we were having a really weird typing issue. And so basically the issue was that this, as soon as the Rust analyzer attaches, this markdown preview widget was, the way I had it set up is it was returning a element. Whoops. Yeah. Whoops. It was returning a thing that looked like this. Something.
Uncle Pee-wee is telling you to drink some coffee.
Yes, sir. Good morning, Uncle Pee-wee. I bet the Rust analyzer is attached now. Yeah. So before this was set, this said string. And so what I had to do was I had to call map on it. Right here. And pass it this message link clicked, which is something I defined, and I'm not actually handling it anywhere right now. But that was the issue. So we fixed that, and we actually have a working Markdown previewer now. So if we do cargo run, assuming B finishes doing what it's doing. I wonder if the Rust analyzer is faster in a different browser than NeoVim. Rock and Brain, thanks, brother. Yeah, of course, yeah. It was just a type issue, but I think it blew, that error message blew up and was so confusing because I think there's so much generic usage in this iced GUI library that it was basically like spilling its guts out to me, essentially, instead of just telling me the one. It reminded me a lot of like TypeScript type errors when you run into that in TypeScript, where all of a sudden you just have this like god awfully long, difficult to parse error message. But then if you just look at it's either at the very top or it's either the very first line or the very last line of the error message. That's what you kind of key on to figure out what you've done wrong. That's what it reminded me of. Okay, so we have I wanted to show you the markdown stuff. So we can do good morning, chat. We are doing some Rust today. And then we can do some Rust code. Like that. And then we can do preview. We've got our markdown. There's some limitations right now, like our keybinds don't work when the markdown is shown because our keybinds are a part of the editor and not a part of the preview. So I might need to change that. There's a bunch of styling we need to do. We need to make all the file operations be asynchronous, which they're not right now. There's also an issue right now where sometimes the editor will like stop registering my key inputs. Oh, that's also another. I've never actually thought about this. The editor doesn't scroll. It doesn't look like it wraps. So it doesn't look like I can scroll it. So that's another thing we probably need to fix. It just runs off the edge. Okay, so I guess I need to add a scroller or something to the editor. So what do we do first? I guess the first thing I want to do is I want to make sure that I have a keybind for preview. I don't think I have a keybind right now for preview. And then what else? Let's change this to say toggle preview instead of what it says right now. Let's change the way we're parsing the markdown. And let's also see if we can fix the editor to scroll. Let's try to see if we can get all that done real quick. So let's do preview, go to definition, delete that because we never figured it out. So I'm going to call this toggle preview. And let's see, we're going to do Control P as our keybind. We'll do is toggle preview. Say view.
I'd like to say something.
Format T, hello world %. Very quiet this morning.
It is quiet this morning. It is very quiet this morning. But that's okay. Sometimes it's nice to have a quiet stream. You know, we just hang out and do some coding, drink some coffee. Okay. All right, so we wanted to also, then the last thing we'll do before we test this is right now, what's happening is every time mark down, every time we edit the file, so every time we edit the file, what we're doing is we are parsing the content of the file and setting that on the current file. I think that this doesn't need to happen on every edit. This really only needs to happen right before you preview it, right? So right before you toggle into preview mode, we want this markdown to be available. And so what I think we can do is I think we can actually move this. I guess what I want to say is I don't even think we need to store this on the current file, is what I want to say. I think we can just do it at the point in time where we preview, is what I'm thinking. So these are our styles, right? And so what I'm thinking is we can just do something like this, where we say let markdown content like that. Okay, no, this is, I'm such an idiot. This is why we're doing that though, right? It's because of the lifetime issue. Because basically that local value is going to outlive. Okay, so that's why we moved it into the update. Okay, so that's why we did it. So then we need to do what we talked about yesterday, which is we basically need to like debounce it. The problem is somebody could be. The problem is if we separate the parsing from the edit, theoretically. I guess what I'm thinking in my head, just to say it out loud, is I'm thinking if I debounce the markdown so that it doesn't happen on every key press, well, what happens if someone's typing and they automatically go Control P to switch to preview mode, and we haven't, you know what I mean? We haven't, whatever that delay is. It's probably not that big of an issue. I don't know. Maybe I don't mess with it until it becomes a real problem. Oh shit. Here's another issue. So my keybinds don't work in preview mode, which I guess some of them probably shouldn't. I wonder if you can add key press handlers to just anything in Iced. So right now all my key bindings are on the editor. So ideally these key bindings would be available just generally, right? So I wonder, on main, can I add key bindings? Main dot on. No. So how do I register key bindings that aren't tied to a specific widget? Like that are just like application-wide key bindings? Let's see. ice.rs, add key bindings for app. In ICE, key bindings can be implemented by subscribing to keyboard events and processing them in the application's update function. You can either handle events directly or use a dedicated crate like keybind rs. This approach involves using ICE built-in subscription and event modules to listen for key presses and define custom logic in your application's update method. Okay. This is new. How to subscribe to key combinations. I think this is what I want to do. The keyboard event key press has a modifiers field that you can leverage for instance. So I basically need to subscribe. I basically need to implement this function, and then I need to react to it. Huh, okay. Well, then we have some significant refactoring to do. So we have update, and our update function's getting messy, and we have boot, so now we need a subscription. So how do we leverage subscription? So subscription is a function that takes the state as a reference and then handles a message. So theoretically, I could define this inline if I wanted to. But I think what I'll do is I'll say function subscription, and it takes the state as a reference. Well, if I could remember how to type a function. Okay, so we do state equals sub or state like that, and it returns a what? A subscription to a message. But I don't think I have this imported. Okay, and then I have to subscribe to stuff. So I say in here, I say subscription. Doesn't that strike you as odd? Subscription. I don't know where this comes from. Iced native subscription. So iced native. I don't think I have that. Oh, event. Is that what I want? I guess that forum post might be outdated. So we want events. Sorry, event. There we go. Event. Listen raw. Listen with. Let's look at the Rust documentation. Now that I know what API I'm looking at. Events. Listen with. Creates a subscription that listens and filters all the runtime events with the provided function, producing messages accordingly. This subscription will call the provided function for every event handled by the runtime. If the function returns none, the event will be discarded. Return some message, that message will be produced. Okay. And so according to Google, or Gemini, more like it, we want to pass in we want to create a subscription that has E and status, which we're not going to use apparently. And this guy is going to say, essentially we're going to say match on E. And in this case, the default is just going to be none. And then if we do have a, what is it, an event keyboard. Why is this not happy at all? There's no keyboard event. Hold on. Let's go to the top and see what usings we have. Where's iced? I guess let's start with let's just do this fully qualified path first and see if we can figure out, let's see, iced event. There we go, keyboard. Oh, also I'm missing some curly brackets. I don't understand why this thing is not happy at the moment. Match arm with no body. This pattern has 0 fields, but the corresponding tuple variant has 1 field. Expected, this pattern has 0 fields, but the corresponding tuple structure has 1 field. So this function takes an event, it takes a status, and it takes a window, and it optionally returns a message. There we go. Was missing an argument. Event, status, and window. So then we're not going to use window. So then we're going to say this is our keyboard event. And we'll just say this should produce a message. And how do we produce a message? We just return it. Yeah, we just return it. So we'll say, let's just say for now we do sum, and this will be message, not edit, but this will be key event, which we don't have. And we'll forward this. Now this is going to complain because we don't have that there, but we can add it. We can say keyboard events, and what is the type of this thing? The type of this thing is event. There's nothing more specific than that? Seems like there should be something more specific. Mismatch type. Expected iced event, but found iced keyboard event. Oh, okay. Iced event keyboard. What was it? Iced keyboard. Now we're happy. Okay, so that should be what we need to do to, in order, let's see, message defined here, unused variable state, that's fine. We can just probably remove that. Pass it here. Function is expected to take one argument, but it takes 0. There we go. And then now we have to go and deal with that new message. So for now, let's just print to the console whenever it happens. Non-exhaustive message key event not covered. The match values of type message. This code is getting so nasty. So for now, let's just print key pressed And then we'll pass in event dot key. What? Why is there no, like, I mean, there should be a way for us to get access to this thing, right? I'm going to rename this to key pressed. I feel like there should be some properties or something on this thing that we can print. Keyboard. Oh, interesting. So you can actually listen for the key pressed and the key released. That's kind of cool. So maybe I'm doing this wrong. More than likely, yes, Stephen, you are doing this wrong. So keyboard takes a keyboard event. And then we're passing that over. I guess this probably should just be keyboard. So the question then becomes, how do I guess I actually should match on that too, right? Because I guess over here what I have to do to figure out, I'd have to do something like this, right? I'd have to do like a match on the event. So I'd have to do match event. Yeah. So key press, key released, modifiers changed. I think I only really care about pressing, right? So I think what we can do, or at least at this point, I only care about the key being pressed. So I think what we can do is key pressed like this, and then just forward that event, right? So this should be this really should be, this should only accept an event Can I do that? Why can't I get access to the... This type is largely incomplete. If you need to track additional events, feel free to open issues, share your use case. That's fair. So basically what I want to do is I just want to only accept key pressed events is what I want to do. But maybe I can't do that. Big J's Faith. Steve, I got something for you. Can you guess? I don't know. What is it, Big J's Faith? Some text to speech? Oh, I guess you're over on YouTube, so you don't get the rewards over there, do you? I gotta figure that out. I gotta figure out some way to translate YouTube XP to rewards.
Well, how about that?
Nah, bro, that's too nice.
Welcome to the party, pal.
That's like your second 10 gifted in the last week.
Welcome to the party, pal.
That's super nice, man. That's super, super kind of you.
Welcome to the party, pal. Welcome to the party, pal.
What's up, Flip with Kyle? What's Flip? Yes, I caught your stream.
Welcome
That means
to the
it's a good
party,
diet.
pal.
Oh, thanks, man. Big J's
Welcome
Faith,
to
that's
the
too
party,
nice, man.
pal.
Seriously. You don't ever have to do stuff like that. But it's
Welcome
very
to
much
the party,
appreciated.
pal.
Hopefully those folks will appreciate being
Welcome
members.
to the party, pal. Welcome to the party, pal.
I like that
Welcome
guy's
to the
name,
party,
Carrot
pal.
Stealer. I realized I fell behind on chat a little bit, didn't I? I'm sorry. I got kind of locked in there for a second. That's too nice, man. Too nice.
Did we just become best friends?
Thank you for the follow, man. I think your name is Vixnevi, maybe Vixnevi. Thank you for the follow, Uncle Pee Wee. Man, I was thinking today was Friday. Now I'm working in TypeScript a day longer than I prefer. Dude, TypeScript's awesome. Who doesn't like working in TypeScript? Come on, Uncle Pee Wee. We can't all have Cold Fusion all the time. Flip with Kyle. Watch out, liberals. Oh, it's Unique UX. Changed my... Oh, what's up, Kyle? Or Unique UX. Yeah, good to see you, man. You changed your name? I hope you're doing well. Kelsey, I agree you are on, but I love you anyway. Good morning, honey. Good to see you. Sorry I ignored your message. Rockin' Brain. I'm wondering here what Z the editor uses as a rendering engine, because ICE is like an experimental crate, right? Yes. So they say it's experimental software, so I don't know what Z uses. That's a good question. Is Z built in Rust? Whoops. I swear my mouse is Z built in Rust. Oh yeah, it is. Z built in Rust. Z. What GUI framework? Seems like other people have had that question. A fast, productive UI framework for Rust from the creators of Z. Oh, so they have their own. Damn, I wish I would have checked theirs out. So they have their own, huh? The basic Hello World example, menus, window positioning. So they didn't use somebody else's. They just built their own. That's pretty baller. Excuse me. Huh. Maybe I'll have to come back and look at this. Basic text input. Huh. Interesting. I mean, I guess it kind of makes sense to build your own, right? If you're really bought in to the product you're building, why not have your own framework? Listen, Vanilla.js and some crummy version of Java is an alright day. TypeScript drives me insane. Do you just feel like TypeScript makes you do things that are unnecessary, right? Like, I guess compared to like Vanilla.js. Big J's Faith, thanks again, man. I really can't believe that you've done that many gifted subs in such a short period of time. So thank you very much. I'm going to actually go and update the members list now. Let's see, we need to go to YouTube Studio. We need to go to update lists. And we need to download our list of members because YouTube is stupid. Your export, yeah, okay, download. Is it already 6:30? Gosh, I'm so unproductive on stream. I feel like I don't get very much done. I have fun doing it, but I just don't get much done. Let's see, we want to do .NET, YouTube CS. And then we need to go over to Meld Studio, and you guys are going to I'm going to disappear for a second, be right back. Got to restart this guy. Got to restart that guy. And we're back. I am a magician. All right, so I don't think, or what I'm getting at here is I guess I can't do what I want to do. Because it seems like... Oh, no, I can. Hold on. I'm being a dummy. So what I need to do is I need to do another match expression here. I think I need to do another match on KBE. It's like this. And I want to just do, by default, we return none. Otherwise, I wonder why it breaks it all out like that. Just gonna go back and look at that guy's example code. So this is what he said to do. He said basically you do events with event keyboard, then keyboard event, then you match on that. Then you say, okay, key pressed sum if modifiers.shift message focus previous. Oh, this is a much better implementation. Yeah, this is a much better, because basically, first of all, when I find this code horribly ugly, but I understand this is what Rust code looks like. So basically, we probably, since we already have messages defined for the different actions, it probably doesn't make a lot of sense to then capture the key press, send a message, and then have that message then, you know what I mean? Like basically we're capturing the event to dispatch a message, and then we're just going to take that message and dispatch an existing message that we already have. And so what we should probably do is we should do this instead, where we say where we should probably say something like this. Is there some way when you're matching an enum, like basically what I'm doing is I'm matching an enum struct here. Is there some way that I can like, I think that's what I want. Expected unit struct. So that's, but I don't want, does this have like a default trait or something? How can I just like say, yeah, give me all the fields? Let's see. I don't know how to do that. In Rust, when matching against an enum struct, is there a way to match on it and just say, give me all the fields instead of them being enumerated. Because see here, he's just doing key pressed. See, he's only looking at 2 right here. So why is that valid? You still have to list them, but it's concise. It's not concise, it's ugly. If you only need some fields, but want to avoid listing the rest, you can use the ... Why can't I use and get the fields? In Rust, patterns are used to destructure. Oh. I think that's exactly what I'm looking for. Right? I'm looking for exactly this. So let's walk it back. So I want modifiers, but I really don't care about anything else. I want modifiers and the key. Now, why are you complaining? Unused variable key, unused variable modifier. This match can be collapsed into the outer match. Okay, so collapse it then for me. Oh, that's because I'm not doing anything with it. So what I want to do is here is for now, let's just print the key. Key dot something or other. Key pressed. To Latin as ref. To owned. I just want the character, man. I just want the character. Is that what to Latin is? Tries to convert this logical key into its Latin character using the physical key provided for translation, if it isn't already. So then, is that what I want here? Is I want the physical key? Let's see. Physical key. This is what it looks like when you don't know what you're doing. I don't understand why these types don't have anything on them. The key released with all keyboard modifiers applied except control. The physical key released the location of the key. The key pressed. A key with an established name or the character. A key string that corresponds to the character typed by the user. An unidentified. So we have to match on the key. So the key is itself an enum. Interesting. Man, this is so, it's crazy how complex just like handling keyboard input is. Just in general, like it's not even just with ICE. It's like anytime you're dealing with keyboard inputs, things get hairy really quick. It can always be refactored later if it's ugly. Yes, you're right. It can be. Big J's Face. C would happen to have a good source I would be able to utilize while I'm learning C#, but in Visual Studio. Actually, Big J's Faith, there's actually a brand new resource for C# that you might be interested in. I don't know how helpful it will be if you want to learn C# within Visual Studio, but they just released a new thing on DOM Train, which is kind of, to me, DOM Train's kind of the leader right now in this in the .NET world. But they just released a new, yeah, I think this is it. Hands-on C# from scratch. They just released this, but it has like an integrated learning experience in there. Excuse me. So how do I demo this? So I gotta log in or something? Okay, I guess I have to claim it. I think I already have a DOM Train account. Gotta figure out what it is though. All right, I'll put the link to that course in the chat. I think this will be very helpful though if you're trying to learn C#. There's also a course on Free Code Camp that's good too. Let's see. One sec. I'll get both those links for you. 1 second. At Big J's Faith. So that's the DOM Train one. And then this is the Free Code Camp one. Free Code Camp. Both are good, I think. The DOM Train one I haven't been through. I've just seen some videos on it. And it looks pretty slick. This is the Free Code Camp one at Big J's Faith. Oh, sorry, Bob. I missed your message. What did you say, Bob? Let's see. Hey, Steven. I saw that last year you was doing Advent of Code using Golang. I skipped that Go learning and I went straight to Rust. How was it to learn Go for you? Go was good. Yeah, Go was actually a lot of fun. We did all of Advent of Code in it. It was a lot of fun. Definitely a different language than anything I had written before. I felt like it was more similar to TypeScript than it was to C#. But it was good. It's crazy. It's wicked fast. That's for sure. It's wicked fast. Yeah. No knock on Go. Good morning, Maddie. Suraf, nice haircut, bro. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. I did get a haircut yesterday. I think I missed. Oh, Bob, no, yo, getting harder to wake up at 5 a.m. for the stream, but I'm still trying to join. Got to take cats to the vet for checkup shortly, though. No worries, Bob. Yeah, I totally understand. The stream is so freaking early. I get it. For people that live here in the United States, it's not really the ideal time to stream if you want a meaningful audience. But I appreciate those of you who can make it. Maddie, I'm in Germany. Nice. I'd like to visit Germany someday. Yeah, I think that'd be cool. All right, back to the Rust. So they're saying I should have key. And so they're saying, okay, well, great, you have a key. Now you have to match on the key. Or let's say, let's let match key. I think for now, let me just return message dot or message key pressed KB. Unreachable expression, mismatched types, option message, found enum message. Whoops. Some key. Why does it still say that's unreachable? Use of partially moved value. Oh. Let how come it makes it unreachable when I put a match here? I don't understand. Any code following this match expression is unreachable as all arms diverge. So what if I did like a let results? Any code following this match expression is unreachable as all. Huh. I guess the way I thought this would work is I would like I thought I could use like a match to like do some conditional logic and then use the result of that down here. Seems interesting. In any event, what I want to do is I want to move all this logic from this key press which I should be able to. Actually, this might be much easier than what I think, because I think what I can do is I think I can handle the key press because that's what is down here in my subscription method is... No, this is a key pressed. So it's not the same. That kind of sucks. Let's see if I can move some of this logic. Okay, so this is complaining. Because I don't think I need this anymore. I don't think I need any of the binding custom now. I think that was something I had to add for the text editor. I have no idea if this is the right thing to do. This just is, basically, just to kind of set the context of what I'm doing, I'm trying to basically lift the key bindings off of the editor widget and move it into the overall application, so that regardless of if the editor is being displayed or not, the application is still listening for these events. Is what I'm trying to do. Whether or not this is the right thing to do, we shall soon see. What is the project? This is we're trying to learn Rust, and so I'm building a what is essentially like a Notepad app. Yeah, it's basically we're basically looking at the Windows Notepad app, and I'm just taking the functionality from it that I want to keep and putting it in my application, and then I'm adding a little bit of functionality to it that I'd like to have different. And the main reason to build it, which you might say, well, why would you want to rebuild Notepad? the main reason for building is just learning. I've never written Rust before or used Rust before, so we wanted a project that would force us to have to learn about it. All right, so we've got, oh, my music died. I'm learning Rust 2. I'm trying to build a gRPC HPC resolver. Nice. How's that going? You having fun? Ton of TypeScript works and probably some instant meetings that are most definitely not urgent. Okay, so state needs to become, everywhere where we see state, that needs to become needs to become this. Oh crap, now this is where we're gonna, because we're capturing, hold on. Expected option message. Why is this complaining? All I did was state defined here. The leading underscore in underscore is marked as unused. Consider renaming it to state. Mismatch type. Expected function event iStatus window. Found closure. Argument. This functions are incorrect. All I did was why does it seem like I broke everything? I don't know what I did there. Okay, so by default, we're just not going to handle this. And I get it. It's going to say, well, we can close this, but we can't, because what I want to do is I want to check to see if we have a particular command. So let's just say I want to check to see if we called is open. And if we did, what I want to do is I want to take the logic that's on my key bindings and I want to move it here. Now I don't have access to a key press, but I do have a modifiers. And I don't have a key press, but I do have a key. And I don't have an O, but I can get an O. So if is open, we are going to return a message. And in this case, we're going to turn file action open. That. Now O does not exist, but O does exist somewhere else in the key bindings. So if we jump up here, we jump back down here, we can put our O down there. Now you're complaining. Why are you complaining? Because these are not the same. Can't compare iced keyboard key. Oh, because one's a reference and one isn't. So this is. Okay, and then why now are you happy? This match can be collapsed into the outer match. But no, it can't though. It can't. Also, I don't know if I need to have that as a reference anymore. I don't think it can be collapsed. Clippy keeps saying it can be collapsed, but I don't think it can. I think Clippy's wrong. Which is a pretty bold thing of me to say as someone who doesn't know Rust. Let's see, mismatch type. Expected enum type option. Message. Okay, so if you think it can be... Okay, we need to go, I guess we're going to have to go read the documentation why it thinks that it can be collapsed. Because I don't see it, and so I obviously don't know Rust as well as Clippy knows Rust. So I will take Clippy's piece of advice here and just do it. Okay, so for example, why is this bad? Finds nested match or if-let expressions where the patterns may be collapsed together without it adding any branches. Note, this lint is not intended to find all cases where nested matches can be merged, but only cases where merging would most likely make the code more readable. Okay, I don't argue there. Okay, so there's some sort of nesting I have to do on the left-hand side. So basically move whatever I'm matching here up into here is what it's saying to do. So I think what it's telling me is instead of doing what you're doing here with the match on KBE, you should really just do this where you pull this up and replace KBE with that. I think is what it's telling me to do. So I'm going to try that. So it's telling me, okay, great. You think you have a keyboard event of key press. That's wonderful. We need your modifiers and we need your key, but nothing else. So let's just do that. That's really unfortunate that you're matching against a struct there. Okay, so then they're saying at this point then we know we have a key pressed event, right? And so then instead of doing this here and doing this here, I think we have one too many somewhere. Yeah, I think that's what it was getting after. Right? Am I crazy? And this is giving me a warning. Oh, that's because we don't need this anymore. And then we can also go to the message definition. We can get rid of this. And everyone's happy now. So now let's try to remove the handler from the editor. So you recall I had an is open here, right? That's being handled by the editor. So let's remove that. Actually, I'm just going to comment it out, actually, in case I have to put it back. And then the handling of the is open, where's that? Right here. And so hopefully what this means is that I've effectively taken that particular key binding and I basically moved it off the editor and just moved it into the application at large. And so basically it should all still function the same, but it should also work whenever we're in preview mode. That's the idea. Danny, nice cut. Thanks, Danny. Yeah, thank you. You guys have all, chat, I tell you what, you guys have all been super kind.
I'd like to say something.
Our time has come, folks. Steven, just leave us for work.
It has come, unfortunately, Uncle Pee-wee. Yeah, unfortunately, work calls. Hello, Sukar, good to see you. I was gonna say before Uncle Pee-wee interrupted me. Just kidding. Thank you guys for being so nice about my haircut. All right, hello, good morning. So if we did everything right, we should be able to open a new file. It works, bro. Let's go. Okay, so now if we're in preview mode, so let's close that one. And if we're in preview mode, which is Control P, and we do Control O. Okay, this is awesome. This is awesome. Fantastic. So we just have to do the painful job of moving all of our logic. It shouldn't be too painful. So we can go ahead and delete these guys. And then we just need to do the rest of this with our... You know what? We actually probably need to refactor this in such a way that I don't have to specify a Boolean for every single bind. There's probably a data structure here. So probably we need a key, and then, or actually probably just need a key string, and then whether or not a modifier is pressed, and then the message that we want to dispatch, right? There's definitely a way to dry this up. Okay. Yeah, but Uncle Pee-wee's right. I really should stop and do the work thing. Unfortunately. Good morning, Artwork Studios. Good to see you. Also seeing what language should I master? I don't know. I think you should master the language you enjoy the most. I think it's more likely you're going to master that language. If you like it, you'll spend time writing it. And if you spend time writing it, you'll get better at it. And if you get better at it, you'll eventually master it. So I don't think I should dictate the language. I think you should kind of dictate the language. And if you don't know what language, go try a bunch and see which one sticks with you. C# then? Yeah, I mean, I love C#, so I'm more power to you. Man, I missed yesterday's session. Oh, no worries at all, Danny. We didn't do a whole... I mean, on my streams, I'm super unproductive, so you don't usually miss anything if you're gone for a day. Sweet car. How legendary and important is in-map and IT? Pretty important. I mean, in terms of like discovering ports, yeah, it's kind of the tool, right? Artwork Studio, thanks for commenting on my haircut. Thanks for the nice comments. I haven't had anyone give me a bad comment, so it's been a nice morning. All right. Well, chat, if there's nothing else, I'm gonna head upstairs and go get ready for work and say hello to the kiddos and kiss my wife and hopefully have myself a good Thursday. I hope you guys have a good Thursday too. Good hairstyle. Thank you, sweetheart. Yeah, thank you all of you for everyone that has been so kind about complimenting my haircut. Thank you very much. The internet is actually filled with some decent human beings. I appreciate you guys. All right. Well, if there's nothing else, I guess I'll just do my normal wrap up. First and foremost, I appreciate you guys spending your. But wait, we want an encore. It's because it's a decent haircut. Oh, that's good. So if I ever get a bad hair, so what you're telling me is my chat is just very honest. So if I ever get a bad haircut, you guys will tell me that it's a bad haircut. Which I respect that. Like I actually respect that a lot. Yeah, no, I guess my normal encore is my normal outro that I usually do at the end of the stream. We will let you know. I appreciate you, Almighty. I appreciate you. Yeah. First and foremost, just thank you guys for spending your morning with me. Beatbox TJ, good to see you, man. I'm actually getting ready to wrap up. It's bad timing. Bad timing on my part. Thank you all for spending your morning with me. I really appreciate it. You guys make the streams way more enjoyable having people to talk to and then having people also to help me when I get stuck. So thank you very much. It's evening here. Bye. See you, sweetheart. If you're new here, though, I know a lot of you aren't new here, but if you are new here and you'd like to come back and hang out with us again, the best place to find us is here live on YouTube and Twitch, 4:15 a.m. Central Time to 7 a.m. Central Time, almost every day. I try to be super consistent about it. And then if you want to find us outside of the stream, the best place is the Discord. And I just spammed all that information there in the chat so you guys have it. So it's just a super easy link, discord.stephenfreeborn.com. And then the schedule's in there too. See you, Duck Boy. Have a good day. So tired. Yeah, all the spams. All the spams. I probably should filter out the bots from at least the display. Hey, what's up, Minister of Defense? Guess I'm fashionably late. You are very fashionably late, and that's okay. That's okay. See you, Artwork Studios. Have a good day. No, you're fine, man. I'll be here tomorrow morning. If you can make it, great. If not, no worries. I get it. Everyone's got lives and stuff. I mean, if you ever miss one of my streams because you're out living your life, like, more power to you. Better to be late than never show up. I would agree with that. Better late than never. All right, guys. Well, I hope you guys have a wonderful Thursday. And if it's already Friday for you, have a wonderful Friday. And I'll see you guys tomorrow morning. I was doing my own coding. Well, I love that. I love that. All right, guys. Bye, chat. Bye, Minister of Defense. Bye, Artwork Studios. Bye, Duck Boy. Bye, Rockin' Brain. Bye, Beatbox TJ. See Sequar. See Sweet Car. See Almighty. I think I got everybody. Danny. Bye, Danny. Have a good day, man. All right, guys. Bye, chat. Bye. Bye. See you guys.